Okay guys, so I'm doing something a little different. I don't have my extra screen to see if my face is in the way, so I'm going to try and be conscientious of it. It's not working right now. As you can see, I'm sitting on my couch. Hello couch, there's my front window. So if you can't see something, sorry, I'm going to try and be aware of it the whole video. We'll find out how it goes. So first things first, today we're going to solve quadratic equations. When we solve for, that means we're going to have x equals. So we're used to getting, let me get my pen going. We're used to getting something that looks like this. Let's say x plus 4 and x minus 3. So that's how we're going to kind of try and start these. Before we can get to the factoring part, we have to do this key part here. We have to rewrite all of my equations so that they're equal to 0 first. You cannot factor until they're equal to 0 if they're in equal signs. So equations mean we have equal signs, so if there's an equal sign, it has to be equal to 0 first. And logically, I don't want negative x's, so if I take a look at this first one, let me move you down. If I take a look at my first one, usually I would subtract over that x squared to get everything on the same side, but I want to keep my x squared positive, so I'm going to subtract 24x to both sides. And at the same time, I'm going to, wow, that looks really bad. Let me try that again. We're going to subtract 24x to both sides. We're going to also add 63. And I'm doing that to both. So it's going to become x squared minus 24x plus 63 is 0. Next step is factor like what we're used to. So I'm going to have my two sets of parentheses of x and x. And what goes into 63? I've got 63 and 7, but that doesn't give me 24. So, not 63 and 7, sorry, I got 9 and 7. I'm going to do 63 is 21 and 3. Negative 21 minus 3 will give me negative 24. And negative 21 times negative 3 will give me 63. So, the hard part's out of the way. And I write massive. So I have to move that down. So next idea is that logically, if something's being multiplied together and it's equal to 0, one or both are equal to 0. So because of this is the cool part, I can take each set of parentheses, pull it apart, and set it equal to 0. Now to solve that for an x value, I just do the opposite of what I see for each one. So this one I'm going to add 21. So one of my x's is going to be 21. This one I'm going to add 3. And my other x is 3. So in all of these today, we're going to have two x values. Just like we had two sets of parentheses, we're going to have two x's. Let me scoot that over just a smidge so I have more writing room. So first things first, get everything equal to 0. I have my x squared over here. I want to keep them positive, so I'm going to subtract 48. So I have x squared plus 8x minus 48 equals 0. Two sets of parentheses. I get x and x. .48 can be broken into 12 and 4. So I want positive 12 and negative 4. Because 12 minus 4 will give me 8. 12 times negative 4 gives me negative 48. So that means x plus 12 equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0. Subtract 12. So x is negative 12. Add 4. And x is 4. In this case, I had two opposite signs. This one I had two positives, and this one I have a negative and a positive. It doesn't matter. As long as you get your answers. It all depends on what your sides are. So if you have a negative and positive sign in here, you're going to have a negative and positive answer. If you have two negatives, you'll get two positives. And then if you have two positives in your parentheses, you'll have two negative answers. So I'm going to switch this guy over here so I don't interfere. My video on my face doesn't mess it up. So number 3 is already set equal to 0 for me, so that's cool. I don't have to do it. However, it's got a number in front, so we're going to be doing my t factoring. So I have negative 15. I'm going to use negative 5 and positive 3. Because negative 5 plus 3 will give me negative 2. And negative 5 times 3 gives me 15. So we're going to rewrite my problem. So I have 5x squared minus 5x plus 3x minus 3 equals 0. Take a look at the first two. What divides out? I can divide out of 5x. When I divide out 5x, I'm left with x minus 1. So I'm going to leave a little space and write x minus 1. Taking a look at the second two terms, 3 divided by 1 equals what? Good, 3. So my answer is one of the copied and the other stuff put together. So same idea, we're going to split each part, set it equal to 0. So I have x minus 1 equals 0, and 5x plus 3 equals 0. We're going to add 1 to both sides. So x is 1. We're going to subtract 3. We have 5x equals negative 3. X is still not by itself yet, so we're going to divide both sides by 5. So x is negative 3 over 5. I would just leave it a fraction. It'll make your life easier. Okay, we have a lot of examples on the next page, so a lot of these you'll be good doing on your own. I want you to do the odds real quick. So pause your video and do all the odds. We're going to check them. Here's number 5. Here's number 7. Oops. Alright, there's number 9. If you're able to get all 3 of these on your own, awesome. Go ahead and move to your homework. If not, we're going to work through the next 2, and then I'm going to want you to do the other 2 on your own. Okay, so first things first, we want to move over some stuff. We want my x squared to be positive. So we're going to subtract over the 3x. And we're going to subtract over the 54. Next, because I do not have a number in front of my x squared, I'm going to go ahead and do my sets of parentheses. So let's think, what goes into negative 54? But adds to negative 3. About 9 and 6. So I want negative 9 plus 6, because that's how I'm going to get that negative 3. So I have x minus 9 equals 0. So x is 9. I have x plus 6 equals 0. So I have x equals negative 6. Okay, it's already set equal to 0 for us. So I have x and x. Multiplies to negative 16, adds to 6. Negative 8 plus 2. So x minus 8 equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0. So x is equal to 8 and x equals a negative 2. Go ahead and try those next 2 on your own. Alright, so for the next one, we should have 2/3 and 2. And then our very last one. X should be 1/2, and X should be -8/3. Alright guys, go ahead and do your homework.